Hello and welcome back to Adventure's Edge.
Hello.
My name's Don.
And I'm Rochelle.
And we are it today.
Yep, that's it. Empty table.
It's a holiday miracle.
Is that? Yes, that's what we're calling it.
So it has been a couple of months since we last released our season finale for season 2. And we teased a little interim adventure.
And then Dawn was like, nope, I'm going to flip that table.
I did some major table flipping in the last couple of months. So, for all of you who have been with us from the beginning, you know we've been playing Pathfinder, and we're just going to take a hard left right now. So, when we started this podcast a couple years ago, it was my intention from the beginning to actually play my own custom system, named Adventure's Edge.
What?
I know. And we actually recorded a few episodes, and it did not go well. So that whole thing got abandoned, and I've been quietly working on it on the side, and we played some Pathfinder, which is an amazing game. Been playing Pathfinder for over a decade now. But now I am ready to do some playtesting of my own system, because that's what all the cool kids are doing these days, right? Making their own stuff.
Yep, and so I got drug into it.
You once again drug into your husband's madness. So, what we're going to do here, we're going to try to get right into this, is that we are going to be doing an actual play. Right now we're going to play an adventure, a one-on-one adventure, which, as we've mentioned previously, I've never run one.
I've never played in this.
Well, actually, I think I established I could remember doing it, like there was one in like the 8th grade.
Oh yeah.
Some vague memories.
Yeah, I've never played in a one-on-one.
So that's just a great way to get started. So for those of you who are, I guess, here because you are mostly Pathfinder fans, I don't think you're going to have any problems understanding what we're doing here. It's a D20, a skills-based game. It has a lot of the same mechanics as Pathfinder. It's just a lot of things are moved around a bit. So I'm going to do a companion show to this for those of you who are interested in like rules, explanations, deeper dives, and I'll release that very soon. But for the rest of us, we're just going to play a story. And that means we are doing a new character.
Yeah.
We are still playing in the World of Tellus. So the setting is the same, just the rules have changed. Let's just do... Let's first things. Why don't you, Rochelle, introduce your new character?
So I am playing a dwarf who is a dwarf rogue, playing a sneak, I guess is the archetype. Is that
right?
Okay, sneak archetype named Jeannie Applebottom, and she is visiting the main city of
Kingsbridge.
Thank you, Kingsbridge. As part of her job. Yep.
Yeah.
And and I guess, is that enough? She's first level character, so starting out at the bottom.
At the bottom. Yep. I think that's enough to get started. I think if people have been listening from the beginning, they know that dwarves are a little different in the World of Tellus than your standard fare. If you are brand new and you're starting in this story, welcome. There is a website, adventuresedgerpg.com, that has a lot of lore, interesting things about the world, discussions about the races, and none of that is necessary. We're going to just tell a story. So I'm actually going to be running a published story here. This actually is going back to a dungeon magazine in 1995, magazine number 55. This is the Spellbook Masquerade by J. Lee Cunningham. I've never run this before. I was searching for like one-on-one adventures, and there's not a ton of them.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they exist, but it wasn't like I found dozens and dozens of them.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. But I wanted something urban. We've mentioned the bigger city,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
kind of wanted to get into that. So that's what we're going to do.
All right. Well, let's go.
Let's go, indeed. All right. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we need. So we, from a time perspective, are going to be picking up a couple months after the last story. At this point, there's no connection other than the references to Kingsbridge. Kingsbridge is a major city in the land of Galtia in the kingdom of Westerness. It's a coastal city, has about 90,000 people that live here, mostly human, with the next biggest grouping being dwarves. And then there's going to be samplings of pretty much all the different races that are existing in the world of Tellus that have traveled to the land of Galtia. So hopefully, as time goes, we'll flesh out more about the city. But for your conceptualization, it is a big fantasy city. It's bustling, filled with people. It's got a river running through it. And you can just imagine this packed city with tall buildings and spires and all sorts of exotic things to see and do and experience. And we're going to be picking up.
All right.
Here we are. It's like midsummer. The midsummer rains have kind of settled in and washing over the city, washing things clean. And it's going to be maybe late afternoon. And Jeannie, you've had a busy day.
Yeah.
And you've been out and about in the city, possibly doing some exploring. And it started to lightly rain as you are making your way down a narrow street in this unfamiliar city to you. You've probably been lost a few different times today.
Jeannie doesn't get lost.
She doesn't get lost. We'll see.
Okay.
And your interest focused on Orange Tabby. A cat was just kind of like...
Oh, yeah. There's a cat.
Yeah. It was just sort of walking along the street, and maybe it kind of rubbed up against your leg and purred a little bit and then continued on its way. And it just seemed to be almost luring you into a slightly open door of a nearby shop.
Well, obviously I follow the cat because I need to pet the cat.
As one does. So you, and obviously to get out of the rain. So you step through the door of a small, well-lit but crowded shop. In your peripheral, you probably notice that it's packed with books, and there's a counter with a very old dwarf sitting on a stool behind it. But the object of your quarry is this tabby who has paused in the lobby and kind of shakes itself off.
All right. I go to pet the cat and try to pick it up.
All right. It allows you to pick it up.
All right. Then I hold the cat and I start petting the cat as I look around.
Okay. You examine the room, and you see that it is, it's clearly some sort of bookseller. It's a small shop. All the walls are just lined with shelves, and it is just jam-packed in a very cluttered but homey sort of way. And there's a couple tables with books scattered across them. And after kind of appraising the book situation, you notice that there is an older dwarf sitting behind this counter. He's actually got a little top hat on and some reading glasses and a long gray beard. So he's definitely kind of a geezerly looking fellow. And geezerly looking fellow.
Okay.
No, you don't like that?
I don't like that.
And he appears to be trying to compose himself. So actually, I'm going to have you make the first roll of the game here. So could I get you to make it's going to be a perception, but it's also going to be a sense motive.
Okay. Okay. And so I make that with +1 edge because I have it as a...
No, because you have the proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
You just means you roll normally.
Okay, but what about the fact that I have earth sense?
That does not factor into anything.
Why not? It says +1 edge perception.
To detect underground or approaching creatures. That is
Mm,
not across the board.
that's very not clear. Okay. Well, anyway, my first roll was a 17, so 17 plus 8, so 25.
That's a pretty amazing first roll of the game. Bodes well for you, Jeannie Applebottom. Okay, so yeah, you take him in, and your keen eye notice that he appears to be distraught, but composing himself as quickly as he can. And he says, well, hello there.
Oh, hello. Is this your cat?
Well, that's Frances, and she's my cat as much as any cat belongs to a person, but she does come here often. I do feed her, so we have a relationship of sorts.
Oh, well, she brought me in here, so,
Well, she is good for that.
is everything okay?
Oh, fine, thank you. Welcome to the shop. This is my bookshop, Burford's Rare Book Emporium.
I did happen to notice that it was a bookshop.
Very astute of you, young lady.
Yes, but I also noticed that you don't exactly seem okay.
Oh, well, I'm having a difficult day. I am an old man, and sometimes one makes mistakes. Terrible, grievous mistakes, but I'm working through it.
Oh, what kind of mistake did you make?
He kind of pauses and assesses you, and realizing he's kind of exposed to vulnerability here. Well, I don't.
I put on my most, helpful and innocent look.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I roll for helpful and innocent? What is that?
I mean, sure, we could have you roll for that. I don't want to just roll too much for the fun of it, but you could make an influence check.
Oh.
And I mean, do you consider yourselves to be
Influential? Yes. Diplomatic? Yes. Bluff? Yes.
Okay. Well, then we would say bluff, I guess.
Oh, yes. That is a 26.
So you seem to put him at ease. Do you approach the counter there?
Well, sure. I'll take a couple steps towards him. I don't, not in an intimidating way. Just kind of,
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're being helpful and innocent. Oh. Well, you do seem like a kind soul. Well, I'm quite an old dwarf, and unfortunately, I've made a mistake, and I sold a customer something I should not have. It was not intended for them, and it's not something easily remedied, and the ramifications are dire.
Oh, was it intended for another customer? Can't you just explain the situation and get it back?
Oh, I cannot. So he looking at you a little closer, and these little mental gears are sort of calculating. And what does he see when he looks at you, Jeannie?
Well, I'm, a dwarf as well, and obviously quite a bit younger than he is. I'm dressed fairly modestly, but I do have on, some light armor, and I do have a rapier that's visible.
Okay. So you're modestly dressed. You don't look like a ne'er-do-well, but you look probably
like I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
I can take care of myself. Yeah.
Okay. All right. He kind of, you see him put his hands on the counter, and he's fiddling with a silver ring, and you hear like a little chime, just a very, very tinkling chime. And he kind of looks you over and he goes, well, I can tell you have a good heart, Jeannie, and This may be a fortuitous coincidence that you followed Francis into my shop. Or, well, I'm a purveyor of many types of books, but oftentimes I collect rare and arcane tomes. One of which I have actually had in my possession for quite some decades. And it is a dangerous tome to the wrong person, and I've made it my life's mission to figure out how to destroy this work. And I believe I'm quite near a breakthrough in that.
Oh.
Unfortunately, this book I had out, foolishly, put it inadvertently into a shipment that was getting a book that looked very similar to it.
Oh.
And I'm afraid that the person who it went to might be the type that would do bad things with it.
Oh. Well, that does sound quite bad.
Yes, they don't have a good heart, although they put on quite the guise. I've been giving them many other tomes over the year, well, selling them, mind you. They're always asking for new and interesting things, but I've steered them clear of the darker arts. And unfortunately now these old eyes and addled brain has handed them the darkest of arts indeed.
Oh, what kind of book was this?
Well, to be very honest, I'd rather not discuss the contents, but let's just say that it would give a magician of power truly dark influence. I think we should leave it at that. Oddly, I was trying to give them a cookbook. It's quite bizarre how these books look alarmingly similar.
That is very odd indeed.
It is very odd indeed.
What kind of cookbook looks like a dangerous magical book?
Oh, well, it's right here. It's called Recipes for a Hungry Ogre, and it actually is really a great cookbook, but you can see, and he actually has it right there on the counter. It's a very nondescript, leather-bound book with, other than the title, nothing else to indicate the contents. And the other book, well, it's a simple leather-bound tome with nothing on the cover that one can see without arcane sight. So, my dilemma thus is that I need to get it back and replace it with this one, but I can't let her know that I've had this on my possession. I wonder. I'm an old man and quite not up to shenanigans of the old times, but you look capable, young woman. I don't suppose I could employ you to somehow switch these books out.
You want me to steal?
Oh, well, no, not at all. I want you to give the recipient what they actually ordered.
Oh.
It's a little switcheroo.
A switcheroo. And how would I, well, who is this that I have so many questions. So, first of all, I'm assuming this person has the arcane sight and would be able to read the title?
Oh, yes, I would. Yes, she does. But I really doubt she's had a chance to even open up the box that I sent yet. See, her name is Kelsey Kincaid. I don't know. Are you familiar with her?
Well, I'm just visiting this town, so I have no idea who Kelsey Kincaid is.
Well, she is, she's the heir to the Kincaid Brewery. They're a moderately wealthy family in the city, very successful brewers, and she kind of inherited her family's fortune some 10 years back. Influential in the business. But she, as I know, as one of her customers, she is one of my customers, mind you, she also explores the arts on the side. So the reason I doubt that she's had a chance to look at the shipment is she just got it this morning as This actually coincides with her annual Monster Ball, which she is hosting tomorrow night, where it's a costume ball. I've gone in the past, and I've been invited. It's her opportunity to.
Wait, is she conjuring monsters?
Oh, no. She invites all the people in the business in the city and has a costume contest, and it's really just a guise to display her wealth to them and show that she is the biggest name in the brewery game, if you will. It's quite a fun evening normally, and then people bring out quite the costumes. And there is a reward for those who win. I hear she is offering 100 gold pieces, 100 crowns to the winner tonight, or tomorrow night, which is an excessive amount of money.
That is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, so people do go out. But it would provide great cover, if you will, to get into her manor and make the exchange. Just you've got to find the book.
Okay, but how do I get into the party?
Well, it is a costume contest, and you would go in costume and present my invitation, which is a standing invite, but they will take the invitation at the door and deposit it into a box, because everybody's identity must be secret. So it wouldn't be until the unmasking late in the evening where it could be problematical for someone who doesn't belong to be there.
So how big is this book?
It's probably like 3 pounds. I mean, it's maybe like a 8x10 leather-bound tome, a couple hundred pages. Yeah, you'd have to secret it on your person somehow.
Okay.
But it would fit in a large satchel.
Okay.
What say you? You could really help out an old man. I can give you more information. Oh, and I have costumes, ones I've worn in the past. They probably don't fit me now, but they could probably fit you. I used to be quite svelte.
Oh, okay. Did we ever exchange names? I don't think we did.
Oh, I thought we did. I'm Vester Burford.
Oh, and I'm Jeannie.
Somehow in my brain we did, but I think it's just because we were just talking about your character.
Yeah. I'm Jeannie Applebottom. I did see your name on the door.
And it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Okay, so Mr. Burford, this sounds kind of dangerous.
Well, I mean, there is probably some modicum of risk, but I doubt they'd call the guard on you. You might just be ejected from the party if you were discovered as someone who doesn't belong there. I mean, people bring guests, so I don't think there's any risk there. Of course, if you were discovered in an indelicate situation, rustling around in her private office or wherever you happen to find that tome, you might have to talk your way out or make a run for it. I could make it worth your while. I'm not a rich man selling books, but I could certainly offer you. Well, it depends on what you want. I could probably offer you 100 silver. That's got to be more than you make in a week or more.
Well, that's rather presumptuous.
Well, okay. I might have other things to offer. I do have rare books, if that intrigues you. From the look on your face, I take it you're not a big reader.
It's not that I'm not a reader. I just, a rare book is not something that really fits in with my line of business. How old are you, Mr. Burford?
Oh, well, I am some 120.
And how old is that in Dwarven? Like is that knocking on death's door?
Old age is like 150.
Oh.
Like he's not about to kick it, but he's pretty old.
Have you been, now that you're making some odd mistakes, have you thought about retirement?
Well, I don't know what else that I would do. I mostly have to complete this life's quest of destroying this book, and then perhaps I'll consider that.
Mm.
Maybe I'll get out of this more dangerous line of work, if you will.
Mm. Have you ever thought about taking on a partner?
In the book business?
Yeah.
The right person has never presented themselves. I've been a sole proprietor for so long. You just said you weren't interested in books, though.
Well, not in carrying books around with me.
Okay.
Just think about it.
I will do so. So, is this a yes? You'll help an old man?
I'll make a deal with an old man.
I'll accept that. Very well, then. Let's get down to business. You'll obviously need to know a few things.
All right.
Should probably know what you're up against. I can give you directions to the Kincaid estate. It's not terribly far. The ball starts at 7, and it will probably go 3 hours. I think they'll do it in a masking at 10 p.m. So you'll want to be either finished by then or earlier. You can always leave, I imagine, as soon as your mission is accomplished.
Okay. And so is it better to be right on time or a little late?
I would suggest being fashionably late. That probably guarantees most of the guests will be there. That would give you a lot of cover. I imagine Kelsey will be in rare form and looking to impress, but also to examine all the guests as they come in. So there'll be more people to blend in with. There'll be quite a few people there. I mean, several dozen, I would at least. It does vary. It's not a royal ball or anything like that. Again, it's a very select audience.
So how many people?
Well, I don't know. In the past, it's been several dozen. It's usually owners of the various competing breweries, usually proprietors from some of the largest taverns. Guaranteed to be at least one or two people in the shipping business. They're not the most stuffy crowd. They'll be there to enjoy the libations. And
so are we talking like 48, 60, 72
people?
Yes.
Oh, probably not so many. I would think maybe 30. It's plenty to blend in with, and it's a large estate.
It's not that many people. Okay. I get a lot more at my shows.
You're in show business?
Yes, indeed.
Oh. What is it you do, Jeannie?
Oh, I work at the circus.
Oh, the circus. I didn't know there was one in town.
Yes, the Gilded Pickaxe.
Gilded Pickaxe. Huh. I think I might have gone to that years ago. It's a bit fuzzy.
Well, then you weren't there.
Memorable, is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, perhaps you'll have some skills that will help you in this endeavor. So what you should know, Kelsey Kincaid puts on a fine front, and this is going to be her night to preen. But make no mistake, she does know magic. You definitely don't want to tangle with her in any sort of way. Like, it'd be best if you don't harm anybody. Discretion, in and out, if you will. It's a good chance the book may be upstairs, which is going to be a problem because she doesn't allow guests upstairs. Right, rumor has it actually she doesn't even allow her staff upstairs.
Oh my!
She's got some. It was about 10 years ago. Her entire family died in a most unfortunate, peculiar stomach illness. It was a bit slow and painful, very awful. And it did end up making her the sole survivor and heir to the fortune. And that definitely changed her. So should be aware that that may be difficult to get in. You'll be looking for a small box. There's, I think, 5 other books in there. It'll have my seal on it. You probably saw it at the door. It's a book with crossed quills.
Okay.
And there'll probably be some guards patrolling the grounds. Oh, yes. And she has a pet. I caught a glimpse of it once. It's some type of small albino primate. You should just be aware that I don't know what to tell you about it other than I don't know what it is exactly.
So
something to watch for.
when you say small,
Well, our size.
that's not small.
Relatively speaking, I hear these things can be quite large. At least primates, mind you.
So it's a dwarven-sized primate, albino primate.
Yes.
How do you know it's not just a very hirsute dwarf?
That seems unlikely. I didn't get to interact with it. I just saw it, and I've heard a few stories.
You just confused an evil book of sorcery with a cookbook. I guess I'm not trusting your eyesight right now.
Well, it has been some years since I've seen the creature.
I just give him a look.
Okay.
And in my notebook, I write down hirsute dwarf.
Hirsute dwarf. Anything else you'd like to know?
Is there a library in the estate?
There is a library. The library is on the first floor. It's quite a lovely library. Her father was a collector, and he was a customer of mine for also many years. I don't know how much of I don't know how much she appreciates the extension of his collection. It is a shame.
So unlikely, in your opinion, that the box would be in the library, though?
Well, it's not impossible. I mean, wherever she would take delivery, I suppose, but I don't know.
Do you know who is supplying food for the party?
Well, she has her own staff, so they'll be preparing it themselves.
But so nobody making deliveries?
Well, I'm sure there's been some deliveries. There may be more. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, maybe we should look at those costumes now.
Oh, well, let me go. Get you, a box of costumes. And he will go into the back of the shop, and you hear him rustling around, and eventually he'll bring out kind of a large chest and drag it out to the side and open it up for you. I have a wide variety in here. Oh, yes, I did win one year. It was, that was, I don't even know, 15 years ago. It was a Harlequin costume. It was quite amusing. He'll pull it out. It looks a little bit tattered.
I don't think that one's going to work for me.
No, well, you said you were in the circus. Well, I've got some face masks here, some more typical ball fare. I do have a pirate costume. I looked great as a swashbuckler. You are wearing a rapier. I trust you know how to use that.
Yes. Does it happen to have a satchel as part of it?
Well, maybe not specifically as part of the costume, but I do have a satchel and something to put the book in.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, I should have something like a little messenger type bag. I do have one of those.
All right. Because I'll have to carry a book in and then carry a book out.
There is that, yes.
Okay. How does the costume smell?
Probably a little bit like mothballs.
Do you have like a spell to like freshen it up?
I do not. I do not. But we could hang it up for a day.
Okay.
I'm sure it will air out.
Do you have any thing to cover the face a little bit?
Well, there's a kind of a black mask that covers the top of your nose and wraps around and covers the top half of your face. That will be, I think, adequate.
Okay.
It'll allow you to eat and drink then.
Yeah, it's not going to be my priority.
Very well. Well, I'll have this ready, unless you wanted to take it now.
No, I'll come back here before the party and pick up the book and get ready.
Well, this has been truly fortuitous, Jeannie. Francis, you may have saved the day and saved the shop.
I'm still holding the cat.
The cat is still purring.
Okay. Well, I will see you tomorrow at 6.
Very well. I look forward to it. I'm sure it will be a grand adventure.
Okay. And I will put the cat down and I will shake his hand. And then I will head to scope out the estate.
Okay. We'll go scope out the estate. Perfect. Yeah, he did give you the instructions, and yeah, it's kind of on the southwest side of town. All right. There you go. So I brought up the estate. You'll see that it's a large 2-story manor house, kind of set on a mid-sized plot with some sprawling gardens in the front, and surrounded by a wrought iron fence, and there's a front gate.
Okay.
And that's going to be the only entrance through the gate. There's a road across the front, which is obviously the main entrance, and then there's a road down the right side, and then there's another manor house on the left side of the estate, and then there's an alley on the back side of the estate that runs behind a row of buildings, mostly businesses.
Okay. Well, I'm going to walk along the front and just kind of see. It looks like it's a fair distance to the house from the front.
Yes. Yeah, from the front gate to the front house is that's going to be 125 feet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So what do I see in terms of windows, balconies, access basically to the second floor?
There's a lot of windows. There is a balcony on the front.
Okay.
Yeah, so facing the house, it's on the front left.
Okay.
That is a second story balcony.
Okay. So just one on the front left of the. Okay. But it's completely visible to like the front door and.
Yeah, anybody on the grounds in the front of the house would see you.
Okay. Okay. And there's no, like, the fence is in good shape, no breaks or.
Yeah, the fence is in good shape. I mean, it's 8 foot. You think you would not be able to fit through the fence because it's actually very narrow, but I mean, you could definitely climb it.
Okay.
It's vertical bars, so I trust that you know how to climb.
Okay. So then I will turn down the other street on the right-hand side and continue walking and just, very, not at a brisk pace, but not super slow either, and just walk down that right-hand side so I can get a better view of that side of the house a little more up close.
Okay. Kind of right over here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, the rain has tapered off a little bit, and people are. This is definitely not a busy part of town. This is very, it's on the almost the outskirts, so very light traffic. But anybody just walking is not going to be suspicious. Sure, and let's just do this. I mean, you're not like pausing and doing a lot of surveillance. You're just sort of like scoping things out.
Yeah, I'm just walking.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and just let's do a perception check though, just to kind of.
Oh my gosh, I am rolling beautifully today because that is another 18 on the die.
Wow.
I know. I am super impressed with myself. So that is a 26.
All right. The grounds seem quiet. You do see a groundskeeper out doing some trimming, kind of out in the middle of the grounds. There is a carriage parked there. You think maybe they were getting a delivery. It just happens while you're here. And as you kind of make your way, you do notice that there's a guard, like in armor and stuff, sort of standing near the front of the house. And as you make your way down the side, you're assuming you're looking for points of entrance.
Yes.
Yeah. So you do see on the right side of the house what looks like cellar doors that would lead possibly to like a downstairs into the ground, like to a lower, like a basement level.
Okay.
Basement level. But they are closed, and you can see that it has like a large lock on it.
Okay.
So you'd have to bypass that.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, there's still plenty of windows.
But no other doors that I've seen. Like, it seems very odd to me that deliveries would go into the front of the house, or that servants would come in the front of the house. Seems like there has to be a back entrance.
I agree with you on that.
And if not, then Kelsey clearly is not as wealthy as she's presuming. I'm embarrassed for her.
You know what? I do think I will be sharing these maps. I did do a great job last season, and I will say that all of these maps are going to be by 2-minute tabletop. So
what is it?
2-minute tabletop.
2 minute.
2-minute tabletop. I've become a big fan of them, and you'll see a lot of their maps. Okay, so I think what this comes down to is that maybe I am misunderstanding some of the iconography here. So I do think that I think this is a patio door here. I think that is a patio door, whereas I think this is a window. The doors look a little thicker than the windows, so I think that's a window.
Okay.
If it wasn't meant to be a door, it is a door.
Okay.
So because that would give patio access.
Yeah, I still feel like there needs to be like a back gate for deliveries. Just my opinion.
Well, yeah, I don't know. There's not a back gate, so there is a back door where you're gonna assume you're gonna continue looking.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go down the alley in the back between the fence and these row of buildings, you can see as you're kind of passing. I mean, this would definitely not be super traveled. I mean, there's probably shopkeepers maybe dumping things out in the alley or also loading things up. But you do spot in the very back there is a door that gives access to what appears to be a private garden. You can't really see the garden is because there's a hedge, like a 6-foot tall thick hedge that runs along the gate, that whole spot.
Okay.
Which obscures the garden, but you do have line of sight on the door.
Okay. So
that could be a point of entry. But since you also did ask about windows, on the second floor, there's extensive windows lining the house there. So it looks like it's probably like a solarium or something up on the second floor.
A solarium. Mm.
Yeah. So there's that's like the whole back L side of the house there is lined with windows, and it has slanted glass as part of the roof, like a big skylight. And you can kind of make out the windows look a little dirty, but you can actually make out some greenery in there too. Okay. Doesn't really help you access wise, but since I was just trying to see everything you would have seen. So then I think that
what about that other kind of jut out? Is that on the right hand backside? Is that also a
you're talking about here?
No. Right hand. Backside.
Oh, the angular one?
Yeah. Is that also
that has windows all the way across there too, but that's a first floor thing.
Oh, that's a first floor. That's not a balcony.
It's not a balcony.
It looks like a balcony.
It does look like a balcony, but it is not.
I think you are mistaken. Okay, I'm kidding. And so I can't really see anything on the left-hand side.
Not really. Yeah, it's definitely not a balcony. The rooms are fully enclosed there, but it is what it could have been a balcony, but it is basically lined with windows.
Okay.
And yeah, there's not easy access to the left side of the house. But you can probably tell, well, the view from back here is fully obstructed by the hedges. And from the front, I mean, you could probably see that it's a large patio. So there's most assuredly a door over there also.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like there's only a singular balcony.
Okay. And no other gates in the fence. There's only the one gate in the fence.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
And you're making me question my life choices.
I am questioning.
I mean, this is not a royal estate. It's not like, I mean, this is.
It has nothing to do with being royal or not. It just has to do with like practicality.
I mean, the whole building is only like 125 feet wide. So it's more like a really large house.
Okay.
Okay.
That's nice.
There's no marble colonnades or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Then after that, I'm going to head back to the circus and gather some supplies.
Okay. Just things you might have at hand, or do you have a little supply list you're angling for?
There's some things that I'm going to be looking for. I mean, some of it's, pretty, what do you want to call it? Typical, traditional. I want some rope and, maybe I do want some grappling hook kind of things.
Grappling hook kind of things. Okay.
And we do have high wire acts at the circus, so.
Okay. I'll go with that.
So, rope and things to affix a person to the ropes and the ropes to things.
Sure. Okay.
So not necessarily something that you would like throw, but.
Okay. More like a climbing kit.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there. Yeah, that would be.
All right. I'm there with you.
I want to acquire some monkey chow.
Monkey chow.
Yes.
Okay. So whatever food.
That we feed some of the animals in our menagerie. Mm-hmm.
We'll have to talk about establish how big this circus is. So that you have some animals in the circus.
It is the premier traveling dwarf circus.
Okay, what was it called again? Something, the Gilded Pickaxe, or?
Yes.
Was that it?
Gilded Pickaxe. Yeah, the Gilded Pickaxe Circus.
Okay. Gilded Pickaxe. Okay, great. All right, so.
I've established that now. It is the premier.
This is the premier.
Yeah, the premier dwarf circus.
Dwarf circus. Perfect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get some monkey chow, whatever that may be, to feed the various animals. So you got a little bag of monkey chow.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to see if I can procure some smoke bombs.
Some smoke bombs.
Yes.
Ooh, that's trickier. That's going to be some out and out, probably a little theft from one of the magic acts.
Yeah, no, they really like me.
Do they now?
I'm their favorite.
Okay.
I'm so cute and charming. They're just going to hand them over.
I don't think that's the case. So the premier dwarf circus definitely has a magician act.
Yes.
Who is in fact not a true magician, but a stage magician.
Yes.
We're going to call him Magister the Great.
If you must.
Did you have his stage name?
I don't have a stage name.
Okay, well.
Sorry, I should have. I
didn't know Magister was making an appearance tonight. So you will need to probably sneak into his tent when he's not there, and pilfer the. We'll have to see how many smoke bombs are there, and then you'll have to sneak out. So let's just do. We're not going to. You know what? I have so many circus assets. I should have made a circus tent, but perhaps I'll share a circus tent and you can visualize it. So let's do. We'll do a stealth check to sneak into his tent unobserved. So that is going to be a subterfuge stealth. Do you have that?
I don't.
You don't have stealth.
I don't have stealth.
Okay, so that means you'll have to make your stealth check at -1 edge. So roll 2 dice and take the lower.
17.
You are rolling hot.
No, I rolled a 7.
You have a lot of subterfuge skill.
Yes, I do have a lot of subterfuge skill.
For a first level character, that is pretty impressive. Okay, 17. That works. Yeah, there was an outside chance somebody might have spotted you, but it wasn't like anybody was guarding Magister's tent. So you sneak in unobserved, stealth your way around, and then now we need to see if in fact we have some smoke bombs present.
I need 3.
You need 3 smoke bombs.
Yes.
So we're gonna put this in the hands of luck. So since we're explore some of the mechanics of the game. So in addition to the normal core 6 stats, you have a 7th stat, which is luck.
Yes.
So luck is a stat, but it is a depletable stat, which means you currently have a luck score of 12. So it can do 2 things. We'll just cover it real quick. At any point in the game, when I decide you need to make a luck roll, you'll roll just like you'll roll anything, but you're going to roll and add your luck stat. So the only time we're going to make a stat roll in the game, and I'll set an arbitrary target DC to see if luck smiles on you. Also, if it comes to like people getting hit, and I'll have to decide what bad thing will happen to somebody. Everybody infected might make a luck roll, and the lowest person will get it. But at any point in the game, you can choose to burn a luck, which basically you will reduce your stat by a point to gain an edge on a roll. And when you level up, you will regain 1d4 luck. So it's kind of like a hero point that you get to choose when you want to use it, but the more you use, the less lucky you are because you're tempting fate.
Can you ever increase your luck beyond your starting number?
That is a great question. And as of right now, the answer is no. I've actually been tempted by that, but I'm worried about abuse.
Gotcha.
So the current written word is that you can only get back up to your.
I've got some ideas.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
So we'll say he's a magician. He's probably got some smoke bombs, but you want 3 smoke bombs.
I do want 3 smoke bombs.
So we're gonna make that. We're going to make that a DC 20, that he's got 3 smoke bombs.
What?
And then that will determine how many there are. So go ahead and make your roll.
That's a... Yes. That's a 29.
It's a 29. Okay. So generally when I'm looking at successes and failures, I'm going to go in 5 increments. So you pilfer through his stuff. And since I determined him having 3 handy was DC 20, he is actually going to have 5 smoke bombs there that you could choose to take.
No, I said I wanted 3. I'm going to leave the other 2 for him.
All right. So you liberate 3 of his 5 smoke bombs, pocketing them away. All right. And then let's do a quick escape. Give me another stealth check to get out of there unnoticed.
That's a 13.
That's a 13. Okay. So as you're slipping away, the strongman was walking by and spotted you coming out of the tent and looks at you quizzically. And it's like, what were you doing in there, Jeannie?
I was just looking for Magnifico.
All right. Give me a bluff check.
That is a 27.
All right. So this was an influence check. And basically he has a target roll, which is based on his charisma and his opinion of you. So it's actually a pretty low DC because he's not super bright or charismatic, and he likes you. We'll just arbitrarily say that. So, all right, he shrugs and says, okay, well, I think I saw him down in the mess tent.
Oh, thank you.
And then he moves along as his business. And you slip away back into the circus crowd.
Okay. Then I also want to go see if I can find a realistic looking beard.
Okay. Somewhere in the circus?
Yeah.
All right. So you're just like shopping the circus. I like it. I mean, I'm sure that there's all sorts of crazy things here. So let's do another look check to see if there is in fact a realistic looking beard.
25.
God. Sure. You happen to know that there's a whole costuming section. I mean, somebody has to maintain all the costumes, and you slip into there and start looking around for the best beard you can find. And are you going to just like try to borrow it? Are you going to try to like ask for it, or are you going to just like try
I'm just going to borrow it.
like pilfer it?
I'm going to borrow it without asking.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Sure. Well, give me one more stealth check.
That is. Oops! I got a double roll. That is a 19.
Okay. Excellent. So you acquire the best beard the circus can provide, other than the bearded lady, who that's a real one.
Yes. I did for a moment think about asking her if she, like saved her trimmings, but I figured it'd take too long to like fashion. So I just,
Yeah. You don't have forever. So, okay. So you have beard, smoke bombs, hooks, climbing kit,
monkey chow.
You're equipped for quite the mission.
I'm going to pause and think if there's anything else that might be useful to me. What about our hypnotist? Does he have anything that might be useful? I'm going to go talk to him.
Okay, you have a hypnotist.
Well, and we've got the what do you call that? When you've got the whole line of little games and tents and activities that people can. What the heck is that called? Midway.
The midway.
Yeah, the midway that before they come to the big top, people can go, and so there's a little hypnotist booth there that people can go and check out and be like, do the close up act.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna go talk to
Mesmero.
Mesmero, that's not on the nose at all. All right, the hypnotist. I mean, I guess Magic at the Great's just as bad.
Yeah, exactly.
You're welcome. All right. Mesmero. Okay.
Hey, Mez.
I don't know where you probably find him.
He's getting ready.
He's getting ready. He's in his tent getting ready for the show.
Yeah.
You kind of barge in on him, and he's waxing his little pointy beard, and he turns
he's curling his mustache.
Curling his mustache.
Yeah. Waxing it, curling it up so it looks nice and, slick.
Yeah, so he'll turn with a start. Yes, Jeannie.
Hey, so I've got this gig, and I was just wondering, do you have anything that I could use or borrow that might be helpful for in case I have to suddenly hypnotize or just hold the attention of a crowd for a few minutes while I slip away?
I wasn't aware, Jeannie, that you had skill in the art of hypnotism. It is a very difficult and long practiced ability.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, do you have something that might work for somebody as unskilled as I am in case of emergency? Nothing like what you do here. And I'm definitely using my diplomacy, stroking the ego here.
Okay. So you're asking to borrow something of which we're not sure what it is yet.
Yeah, because this is, clearly, Mez, this is not my expertise. That's why, obviously, I came to the best.
All right. So tell you what, first of all, we'll go with give me a diplomacy check to at least get him to consider your initial proposition?
That is an 18.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. So, because he's pretty charismatic. So you've piqued his curiosity. Well, I definitely don't think that I could just loan out my most treasured and unique gadgets. But so you're looking to provide a distraction. Something mesmerizing.
Yes. I wink at him.
I don't know if he would have something like that. I'm actually trying to think of something creative. So, I mean, it might be something you would have to leave behind. Did you have something something that you had thought of that might be a thing?
No. I like this is me fishing.
Okay. We'll tell you what. We'll have to maybe make something up. But let's I really don't know if he would have something. So we're going to do luck again. Your luck seems to be holding.
I don't know. We'll see.
The thing is, I have nothing in mind. So I'm fishing for thoughts here. Yeah, let's just see. Let's see if luck determines he does in fact have something. We're going to call this a pretty high bar, though.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a DC 25 on this.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be rough. Okay. Oh, yes, that is a 28.
Dear God. So I've just done that to myself.
You have. Because that's a 16 plus my 12 luck, right? 28.
Yeah.
You could have made it a 30, then I'd have to roll an 18 or higher. But
I wanted 25 was a pretty in difficulties.
Yeah, that would be hard.
That's a very high difficulty. Now, luck, because it's a stat and tends to be higher, at least initially, than most skills. Having a 12 is pretty good. Okay, we're gonna wing it though. Well, I do have. He will go into a drawer and pull out. It's gonna look like a silver pendant on a string, and on one side it's gonna have where it's the black and white lines. And it says if you were to suspend this and then give it a good spin, it does in fact draw the eye to just say the more weak-minded. It is a very minor magic, mind you. It's as much an eye catcher as it is any sort of enchantment. But I have had it for quite a while. In fact, I used to use this in one of my shows as a point of distraction. But I would just hate to loan this out. In the event you misplaced it. So, what do you have to offer me in exchange?
Okay, but I would get my thing back when I bring this back to you?
Ah, if you were to bring it back, sure. We could agree to that.
Okay, I can leave my silver nose ring with you.
Your silver nose ring?
It's like the
only thing of value you have.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a diplomacy check.
Oh.
He's not excited about this deal, but he's he likes you as much as anybody else.
It's very valuable to me. That's an 18. I rolled a 10. Or I could see about a book.
A book, you say?
Yes.
What type of book?
Well, I could see about a potentially rare book on hypnotism.
Oh.
I've got a contact.
Well, now you've intrigued me. Well, you have been with us for some time, and I do like a good book of the field. All right. So mechanically speaking, so the DC for this, the base DC is his charisma, which is a 16, and then it's modified by his feelings towards you and the feelings towards the deal. And I was actually going to be setting the DC at 21 because he wasn't feeling great about it, but you've just offered something that really piqued his interest. So then that actually canceled out his worry about not getting this other thing back. So I was lowering the DC down to a 16. So that actually means with your roll, that would be a success.
Okay.
Okay. So he will look thoughtful and says, I believe you're good for it. So yes, you bring me such a book, you can keep this in the end. And if you lose it, no worries.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
I'm sure it will be amazing.
If you find something by Gregorio the Mentalist, that would be even better.
Okay. I will see what I can find by Gregorio the Mentalist. And if not, I'll find something similar.
Wonderful. All right, so he will hand you his little gadget.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I think I'm good.
All right, so with all that said, you are well equipped and ready for your first mission.
Yes.
It's like Mission Impossible. This is exciting. So I also think that's going to be our first episode.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got the setup, we've got the equipping, and we've learned a little bit about the rules. You got a hot streak there.
I did,
on
and now
crazy rules.
I'm really nervous for the actual heist because I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Everything's going to go wrong. I'm going to die.
That would be unfortunate. Because as everyone knows, I run a straight game. All the rolls are real, and death is always on the table. I would be sad, though, because I'm a fan of Jeannie already.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for playing.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. We're going to see what else we can get recorded, and I will be releasing a companion episode to this one just to cover some rules. If that's not your thing, it'll be fine. And I will try to make it as concise as I can.
Painless?
As painless as I can.
Painless as possible.
Painless as possible. So thanks for coming back, everybody. Have a happy holiday, and we will see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.